You're getting a live look at the McDowell Mountains looking down on Notre Dame Prep. We're in North Scottsdale as APM Video Sports presents the 2015 Arizona Lacrosse League Game of the Week. It's the Chaparral Firebirds, 6-2 by way of record, taking on the 3-win, 5-loss Notre Dame Saints. And I'm Jeff Lowry, APM Video Sports, our website apmvideo.com. The Chaparral Firebirds, winningest team in league history with 7 state championships. Last year didn't make the playoffs, but they've rebounded well. They have won 6 of their first 8 games this year, and their only 2 losses have come at the hands of both powerhouse teams, Brophy and Desert Vista. They're led by defensive long stick midfielder number 35, Justin Gray. He's having an outstanding season. Number 33, Noah Plotkin. He is one of the top defensive players that we have seen through the first half of the year. Carter Smith, hard left-handed shot, and Cade Bluen, number 31, only a sophomore midfielder. Austin Gray is the head coach of the Chaparral Firebirds in his 3rd season. As far as the Notre Dame Saints go, Doug Lipska's team 3-5 by way of record. They're led by Daniel Francis, one of their top seniors this year, and the freshman Will Lynch, who has been a spark plug on offense. And, of course, their leading scorer the last 2 years has been number 11, Spencer Stanton. But Notre Dame has lost 4 straight. Of course, the last 4 games, tough schedule. They've had Desert Vista, South Point, Brophy, and Sabino. And they lost to Sabino down in Tucson, 17-11 on Saturday. So tonight from North Scottsdale, it's Chaparral and Notre Dame. The action is coming up next on APM. Welcome back to Notre Dame Prep High School, North Scottsdale. Game time temperature 81 degrees. The 2 goalies taking their positions, including number 20, Matt Scragg for Notre Dame. And Carson Davis on the other side for Chaparral. So we're ready for our opening face-off. And it looks like we've got an infraction against Chaparral, and well, so Notre Dame wins the possession off the first face-off, and this contest is underway. Well, we mentioned Chaparral, 6-2 by way of record coming in. They come out in, of course, the red and the yellow uniforms, the all-white Notre Dame. Chaparral losing to powerhouse Brophy on Saturday, a game that we had right here on the Arizona Lacrosse League Network, 7-2. And unfortunately, Notre Dame is, after getting off to a pretty good start, they won 3 of their first 4, but they've lost 4 straight. They are 3 wins, 5 losses overall, as we are just past the halfway mark of the 2015 season. No score, first quarter action. Notre Dame Saints led by Daniel Francis. There he is, number 7. And Will Cunnington has had an outstanding year. Unfortunately, we don't have the team or individual stats for Notre Dame. He'll be picked up defensively, marked up here by Charlie Felix as he starts to dodge, and Felix pried that one loose. And the 50-50 ball is going to be won by the defensive long stick midfielder Gray. He races into the attack zone, and he's got it. Shoots and scores for the Firebirds, and they lead it 1-0. Gray scores at the 10:39 mark here in the first, and Chaparral leading Notre Dame by a score of 1-0. It all started with the outstanding defense by midfielder Charlie Felix of Chaparral. So they battle for the face-off here. Notre Dame winning the first face-off of the contest, and now we got a whistle, and they've won the second one, or at least the possession off face-off. And Daniel Francis will restart here for the Saints. The next game on the slate for Notre Dame, their next game will be against the West Valley Wolves. That game will be played at Estrella Foothills, way out beyond the western end of town. And Chaparral doesn't play until the 14th of April, almost 2 weeks. Some 13 days from tonight, and they will be venturing to the Old Pueblo in Tucson, Arizona, to take on a team right now riding high after that great victory, come from behind fashion against South Point in the Sabino Sabercats, who currently are 6-1 and a half a game ahead of Chaparral for that third spot in the playoffs. And for some of you wondering how the playoffs are, well, obviously with the two divisions, less teams are going. Same amount of teams are going to be going. It's going to be this. It'll be 8 teams going, but it'll be the top 4 in each division. So it's going to be a lot tougher at the Division I level to make it to the playoffs. 1-0 Chaparral here in the first. Prosh with the fine defense out front. One of the pulls here for Austin Gray's team. Work it up top. Trying to get around is Elia, and he had it broken up. And a big ground ball there, and that's Noah Plotkin. So a great job by the Poles here early on for the Chaparral Firebirds, and Plotkin with a nice ride into the offensive half. Chaparral at the numbers. The shot taken is denied by Matt Scragg. A tremendous save there by the Notre Dame Saints goalie, and that keeps the game at 1-0 in favor of Chaparral here in the first. Chaparral on the restart. Carter Smith, watch him coming in from the right side of your screen. He's got a big, strong left hand. Chaparral with a 1-0 lead. The first goal of the game belonged to Justin Gray, the long stick defensive midfielder. Picked up a loose ground ball after Felix pried it loose, and this throw is going to probably find the line to the far side, and it does, and this should be Notre Dame possession, and it is. 1-0 Chaparral. Loose ground ball, and raked up there nicely by the Chaparral Firebirds. Who lead it 1-0 here in the first. I'm Jeff Lowry with APM Video Sports. Our website is apmvideo.com. And our game today brought to you by Auto Glass Perfection, a proud sponsor of the Arizona Lacrosse League. Here's a build-up straight ahead. Gray, who has scored the game's only point. Felix with a touch to Carter, and Carter shot just a little wide. And that'll be a save, the second of the game for the Notre Dame Saints, Matt Scragg. Excellent job. So that keeps it 1-0 Chaparral here in the first. Trevor Went. We'll go up top to Felix. Charlie Felix, need a great year out of him. If this team's going to contend for a chance to go to state or even win state, they got to have a big year out of Felix. And coming in, Felix, their third leading scorer. Kate Bluen is their leading scorer with 30 points this year. And Carter Smith, second in points, has the most goals. In fact, his 25 goals is definitely, I would say, top 3 in the state. But with this unbalanced amount of games that teams have played, it's really hard to say, you know, you'd have to go with the points or goals per game as a true leader, as that shot is taken and it's wide right. But Chaparral was closest to the end line, and they have possession. They lead it 1-0 here. Working around the horn, 6-on-6 offense. Nice spin, moving left, swimming through. Nice split dodge there, but couldn't get it to go. In fact, he lost the ball, and Notre Dame looks like they've got possession. 1-0 Chaparral here in the first, and Notre Dame settling in on 6-on-6 offense. One of the keys for this Notre Dame team is number 11, Spencer Stanton, who had 106 points last year. Off to a great start this year. He has already scored 31 goals on the strength of 36 points. Will Lynch, number 9, another tremendous standout as Sapp works it around to the top. And Will Cunnington, he is a guy that does a lot of things for this Notre Dame team that doesn't always necessarily end up, as he takes a shot here, left it wide left, show up in a box score. And he had a huge game against Corona, a game that we had here on the Arizona Lacrosse League. And this is a great matchup here. You got Plotkin, the junior, going up against Stanton. These are two, I'll tell you what, it's going to be fun watching these two next year. Plotkin only a junior. Cunnington Chaparral I think you got to shut down number 5. I think that's going to be one of the guys, along with Stanton, on this Notre Dame team. Notre Dame trying to break a 4-game losing streak. And the big left hand by Lynch. So there was a little bit of, as Carson Davis rises to the occasion. 1-0 Chaparral here in the first. 6 minutes into the opening quarter of play. Stanton going to work against Plotkin behind X, or in X. And now goal line extended left. Looking to free himself up for a shot. Noah pried that one loose with some good defense, and he gets the ground ball. Well, you can see why he is regarded so highly amongst the circles here at Chaparral High School, as he comes up with a big-time play against truly a big-time player on this Notre Dame Saints team. And now Chaparral brings it into the offensive half. They lead 1-0 here in the first. Cade Bluen, their leading scorer. Working around the Brant Bills 44. Now Brolin White. Bluen corrals it. He'll be picked up there by Tyler Tafuri, number 3, one of their more physical defensive players. A lot of strength back there, though that doesn't always necessarily mean you're a good lacrosse player, but this Notre Dame Saints team, with 12 wins last year, you get the feeling that this team could be on the verge of, becoming one of those elite programs. They've got an outstanding coaching staff here with Mark Siegel and Coach Matt and Doug Lipska in his second year. And it is a goal for this organization to become one of the top 5 teams in the state of Arizona. But this is a year in which they're playing with the bigs here. And if they continue to get outstanding defensive play like this, Pierce Swanson with an outstanding ground ball and the good pass up ahead to Poteet. And they can't say enough good things about number 12 here, Ryan Poteet. Played on the freshman football team that was undefeated. In fact, several of these players were undefeated, and now an unforced turnover as they tried to hook up with Ryan Swanger. Chaparral on the restart. They have the possession. Chaparral will restart it here with Trevor Went in their own half. One 1-0 lead as we approach the 2-minute mark here in quarter number 1. Here's the dodge from the right wing. I'll tell you what, the Saints defense looking awfully good. You talk about marking up your man. They have done an outstanding job one-on-one. Chaparral, their only goal came on really a breakaway goal. And here's an outstanding ground ball by Tyler Tafuri of Notre Dame. Leads it up ahead. Hunter Kreshak, who is their top ground ball and their face-off champion. And we're going to get a timeout here at Notre Dame. 1-0 Chaparral. This is APN Sports. Jeff Lowry back here, Notre Dame Prep High School. Saints looking to equalize. And another one-on-one battle here. Spencer Stanton against Noah Plotkin in the red uniform for the Chaparral Firebirds. Makes this young man he's got the great instincts, and this is a young man that started playing lacrosse just a couple of years ago. He lost that one, and it was picked up by the goalie Carson Davis, but they're giving it back to Notre Dame. I don't know if there was a push there, but nonetheless, the Saints will have it on the restart as we are winding down period number 1. And here's Stanton going to work, and good defense there. Good stick check, and it was Davis picking up the ground ball, and he's going to walk the dog across the halfway line. Boy, this is a young man that can almost do it all. The great pass to Bluen, and the diagonal pass paid off, and Cade Bluen has scored. And it's 2-0 Chaparral on the Gray assist. So he's got a point and he has 2 points, an assist, and a goal here tonight. Just under a minute left to go here in the opening period. And a face-off win for Ian. He wants to go coast to coast. He tried to bounce feed that one into the back of the cage, and he left it a little shy. Good defense by Joe Moore on the Saints side. 30 seconds left to play here in the opening period. Neil Connell, the sophomore, and now gives it up to Felix. Chaparral would probably best serve themselves if they play for the last shot of the first period. Here's Felix going to work, swimming through that defense, but good footwork there by Daniel Francis, one of the true team leaders on this team. Now Scott Christian with a touch. Get it back over to Felix. Inside of 10 seconds, he'll pull the trigger, and he will be turned away by Matt Scragg. Not much time left here for Chaparral as we wind down period number 1. Bluen looking for a backdoor cut. He's going to be harassed by Tafuri, and that's the end of the first period. With the score, visiting Chaparral 2, the home team, Notre Dame nothing. We'll be back on APN in our game of the week in just a moment. Auto Glass Perfection is locally owned and operated and a proud sponsor of the Arizona Lacrosse League. For over 15 years, Auto Glass Perfection's passion is glass. Their focus is on your satisfaction and safety. Call 602-953-7876, or you can go to their website for more at agperfection.com. Chaparral Firebirds lead it 2-0 here in North Scottsdale at Notre Dame Prep High School. Jeff Lowry with you on the Arizona Play-by-Play Network. Chaparral got goals from Justin Gray, their defensive long stick midfielder, at the 10:39 mark, and then just inside the final minute, they scored on a Bluen from Gray, who had got the ground ball and took it all the way in, and then found Bluen goal line extended right, and he knew exactly what to do with it. For Bluen, his 17th goal of the year, and he has 31 points. For Spencer Stanton with 36 points for Notre Dame, and these are two of the top scorers in the state this year. We're going to get a whistle and a push, and Saints will restart it out top. Led by Brant Sapp. So Sapp moving right. Just into the second period of play. Saints trying to break a losing streak of 4. But going up against, I think, definitely one of the top 4 teams here in 2015. Good defense on that far side, and Spencer Stanton somehow got through and scores it. And it's a 2-1 ball game with 11:02 left to go here in the second. And Stanton on an unassisted goal went bottom shelf. In fact, I think he may have been tripped up slightly on that play. That was an outstanding goal as Ian Nadell comes up with the face-off victory. So Chaparral's lead cut in half on the Stanton goal. Gilligan with an outstanding job that time, and one of the fastest players I think we've seen this year, Russ Gilligan. Brings a lot of athleticism to this Chaparral lacrosse team, and now they settle into their 6-on-6. The 2 goalies here in the first half, Matt Scragg, number 20 for Notre Dame. Chaparral going with Carson Davis, the senior. We'll see Wyatt Hill in this game. They have I guess you would say, a 2-goalie system over here at Chap. Here's the shot taken, and a big right hand by the long stick midfielder, Justin Gray. And I'll tell you what, he is off to a sensational start here as he scores it, and Chap leads it by 2 again, matching their largest lead of 2. They've led 2-0 and now 3-1. And now Nadell winning in face-off. Face-off wins are even, but they lose it and now the ball coming loose. A 50-50 ball at midfield. Unable to corral it was Connell, and now the Saints on the attack. They're led by Will Lynch. He gets by a defender. He goes top shelf, and he has found the promised land. Will Lynch, one of the top scorers. His 30th point of the season, his 22nd goal, second to Stanton. And it's now a 3-2 game. So Chaparral up by one again, and that was all Lynch, unassisted. And now trying to go with the wraparound shot, couldn't get that one to go, was Carter Smith. Trying to be creative. Bluen will restart it for the Firebirds in the far corner pocket. Chaparral led 2-0 at the end of one, but we've seen 3 goals here. Gray looking for his 3rd goal, and he's got it. A very strong dodge as he went to his right. And how many times have you seen a long stick midfielder get 4 points, and we're not even halfway through the second period. 4-2 Chaparral. That was impressive. Chap trying to go up 5-2, and they will. Cade Bluen finding Carter Smith. And that was just quickly getting off the face-off win, and they lead it by a score of 5-2. So Bluen has a goal. He has an assist for 2 points, and Chaparral has the largest lead of the game of 3 at 5-2. Who wants the possession off this face-off? And we got a flag. Well, this is going to go against Chaparral. Or is it? No, this is a slash against Notre Dame. So slashing penalty coming at the 8:30 mark here and 8:35 mark here in the second period. And Chaparral will now be in a man-up situation, leading by 3. So Notre Dame pulled to within 1 at a 2-1 score after Lynch's goal. As this shot taken, and a huge left hand, and Smith has scored his 2nd straight. That was impressive, and it's now 6-2 with 8:26 left to go here in the first half. We're going to give this to Notre Dame. Face-offs have been even here today. Cunnington. So Smith with 2 goals. Gray has 3. Bluen has the other. Saints need a goal, and they are going to get it. And that was Daniel Francis. And the offense has definitely picked up here, and that was monumental for the Saints as they cut into the lead. It is now 6-3. Chaparral will win the faceoff. They have a 5-4 advantage. Here's Ian going to work. He gets it over to Carter. He swims through the defender, but holding his ground was Swanson, an outstanding job. Chaparral in the red with the yellow pants. They lead it by a score of 6-3 here. Gray's pass was broken up, and that was fine defense by Pierce Swanson, 23. And here come the Saints, trying to pull to within 2 as they trail it 6-3 here in the second with 7:35 on the clock. Lynch, who scored their last goal, second to last goal, pulled his team to within a 3-2 deficit, and he's creating here. And I think Blotkin may have had actually part of the stick on that one, and it went out of play, but it's going to be Will Lynch and the Notre Dame Saints on the restart. Here's Brent Sapp. Sapp looking for an outlet here. He'll dodge. He will shoot and score. Big right hand for Sapp, and they have scored 2 straight and climbed right back into the ball game here in the second quarter with 7:09 left to play, and it's 6-4 Chaparral, who had led by as much as 4, but the Saints very pesky, coming right back, and Chaparral gets another face-off victory here thanks to Brant Bill's 44. And we're going to get a holding here on the Chaparral Firebirds, and here come the Saints with a chance to pull to within 1. And Chaparral was offsides. Free play here. Cunnington battling against Prosh. Ball pried loose there by the long stick defender. And we're going to get an offsides 30-second infraction with 6.5 left to go here in the first half. Chaparral in the red tops and the gold or yellow shorts, they lead it by a score of 6-4, but they're going to be a man down in this situation. Let's see if Notre Dame can take advantage. I think this is almost a must-win. If the Saints have any aspirations of making the playoffs, they need this victory here. That would get them back to 4-5 by way of record. They're going to take a shot here. Outstanding save by Carson Davis. Had an outstanding year, played extremely well. The goal he played last week against Brophy was outstanding for Chaparral. Fortunately, they didn't get the offense they wanted and lost 7-2. Both teams at full strength. We might get a flag here. No, they called timeout. So a timeout on the field. 6:20 left to go here in the first half. It's 6-4. Jeff Lowry back here from Notre Dame Saints High School. North Scottsdale on a picture-perfect evening for Arizona High School lacrosse right here on the Arizona Lacrosse League Network and APN Sports. Chaparral up by 2 here. Loose ball, and here come the Saints, and they want to build it up here. But they lose it on the far side. Did they get the timeout called in time? I believe they did. So the Saints will have it when we come back trailing by 2. 5:51, second quarter. All right, on the restart. Notre Dame Saints coming off a 17-11 loss at Sabino. Shot taken in close. Another outstanding save by Carson Davis. And we're going to get a trip here. Let's get the call first. Now, this is going to be a push against the Chaparral Firebirds. And Trevor Went. So Trevor Went, 30 seconds, 5.5 left to go here in the second period. And the Saints with a golden opportunity to make this a one-point affair. They trail 6-4, but they're in the man up. Cunnington, Faulkner, Sapp out of X, now Stanton. And he loves working that goal line extended right, and we're going to get what I believe will be a slash here. And this is going to go against number 17 for a minute. So a two-man up situation here for the Saints on offense. You talk about a window of opportunity opening up. That window is wide open, and the Saints got to convert. Here's Stanton going to work, and his shot is no good. 5 minutes on the clock. Saints now up by a man-up situation now for the Saints on offense as they settle into their possession-style offense, which most teams do when they're a man up. They want to work for that perfect shot, and what a save that time by Carson Davis. So Chaparral continues to lead. Can the Saints take advantage? Man up situation. Here's the dodge. Cunnington losing it as Chaparral tries to kill this penalty by a huge ground ball by Lynch. Keeps it alive, and that paid off. Big time score by Sapp on an assist from Lynch. Sapp's second straight goal. And at the 4:16 mark, we got a new ball game. It is 6-5 in favor of Chaparral, but 3 unanswered goals by the Notre Dame Saints have made it a 1-point affair. A nice-looking shot there by number 37 of the Firebirds, and it's no good. 4 minutes left to go here in the first half. Chaparral trying to go to 7 wins, 2 losses. Here's Francis trying to ride it out of his own half. Good defense there. Chaparral now double-teaming the ball carrier, and 37 picks it up. He wants to go all the way, and he had it knocked away by the goalie, Matt Scragg. Good save there as 37 shaken up by the Firebirds. Well, the Chaparral faithful wanting a flag there. I don't think they're going to get it, and Notre Dame will be in possession of the ball. 3:30 left to go here in the first half. And you got to like the approach here by the Chaparral defense, aggressive to the ball. To Furry, can't get rid of it. It's out of play, and the Firebirds have the possession as they try to break this 3-0 run by the Notre Dame Saints. Now Gilligan. Felix, his defensive play led to the very first score. Broke up the play at midfield, pried it loose from Cunnington, and then teammate for the Firebirds, Justin Gray, the long stick midfield defender, picked it up and raced all the way downfield and came up with the score. But 3 unanswered goals here by Notre Dame has put them to within a 6-5 deficit. As we approach the 3-minute mark here in period number 2.
There you go. There you go.
And this is going to give it back to the Saints. Technical foul against the Chaparral Firebirds.
Right call.
Watch it. Watch it. Yeah.
Saints will have it on the restart here. Coming to you from Notre Dame Prep High School. We're in North Scottsdale, out by the McDowell Mountains, a beautiful area of the Phoenix area. Stanton taking on 3 defenders, and we're going to be called for a push. So Notre Dame on the restart. Chaparral could use a big-time takeaway right now. The momentum in favor of the Saints right now. Here's a nice-looking dodge. Fine defense. Good stick play on defense by Barrett Proush. And Chaparral is going to get the clear. So Barrett's outstanding defense. He started it by getting the takeaway. And we got a timeout on the field here with Chaparral leading Notre Dame 6-5, just under 2 minutes to play. We're in the second period. Mitchell gets it over to Cade. Cade Bluen, one of the outstanding, maybe one of the premier underclassmen, especially this being only his sophomore year. Hey, we've got some really good players in their sophomore, and we said that last year with guys like Jake Patterson, players like that. You know, you got Teddy Sullivan down at Sal Point, and you got Cade Bluen up here, just to name a couple. The future of Arizona high school lacrosse looking good here with players like that coming up. On the 50-50 ball, who wants this one? And it's going to be the Saints. They got a chance to tie this thing up. 6-5 here as we approach the 1 minute mark. Stanton going to work, trying to split dodge against Plotkin. And I'll tell you what, Noah is having a monster first half defensively for the Chaparral Firebirds here tonight. Number 33. Now Swanger. Good look here, and the shot is high. Daniel Francis. So they'll keep it at 6-5 Chaparral. They're on the defense. Stanton on the restart. Noah gets the assignment here. He moves right. He shoots and denied. Turned away. Carson Davis in goal for the Chaparral Firebirds. And now can the Firebirds clear it out? We're inside a minute left to go, and there's a trip. And that is going to put Chaparral in a man-up situation. And that was the last thing, really, Notre Dame needed. As the score 6-5 in favor of Chaparral, they have scored, Notre Dame, that is, 3 unanswered goals to get it back to a one-goal game. But now Chaparral has a man-up situation. Get it over to Smith, up to Gilligan, over to Felix. Cade Bluen out of X. Looking, finds a backdoor feed, and he got it to Russell Gilligan. What a move by Russ Gilligan, and Chaparral leads it 7-5 in the man-up. Chaparral has definitely had the advantage in face-offs in this second period, as the first half comes to an end. You're watching the Arizona Lacrosse League on APN Sports. Chaparral, the visiting team here at Notre Dame, leads it 7-5. Auto Glass Perfection is locally owned and operated and a proud sponsor of the Arizona Lacrosse League. For over 15 years, Auto Glass Perfection's passion is glass. Their focus is on your satisfaction and safety. Call 602-953-7876, or you can go to their website for more at agperfection.com. Welcome back to Notre Dame Prep. It is Arizona High School lacrosse action as the Chaparral Firebirds, the visiting team, in the red tops and the shorts of yellow. We're going to get an immediate flag to start things, but they'll play this one through. Ian Nadell winning the opening face-off to the second half. And we're going to get an infraction here, 20 seconds in, an illegal check, body check, and this is going to put the Saints in a disadvantaged situation. 7-5, Chaparral leads it here on our Arizona Lacrosse League Game of the Week on APM Video Sports. Well, the big story in that first half was a dazzling play on offense by defenseman, long stick midfielder Justin Gray of the Chaparral Firebirds. He had 3 goals. He also had an assist and several ground balls, and was a big part of the Chaparral success. They got out to a 2-0 lead. They led 2-0 after 1 as they take the first shot of the second half, and that one's going to be turned away on an outstanding save by Matt Scragg of the Notre Dame Saints. They'll try to clear it long. They'll send it all the way down. Of course, they're trying to kill this penalty. And Chaparral gets the loose ball up towards midfield, and they'll bring it into the offensive half. Chap leads it 7-5 here. Standouts on offense for the Saints as Felix takes a big right hand. And a blistering shot rattles the back of the cage, and it is now an 8-5 score. So Felix scoring his first goal of the contest. About a minute and a half into the contest, and now Chaparral with their second possession after the face-off. Well, this Ian Nadell's having a tremendous year. Came into the contest with 42 ground balls and over 100 face-off wins in just 8 games. That sounds like a lot of face-offs. 8, that's about right. Christian left that one a little wide. A beautiful night for Arizona High School lacrosse. Well, Notre Dame was the last or the closest to the end line when that play, that shot went out of play, and looks like they're going to, well, let's see. I thought maybe they were going to keep it in play. You had one of the players coming in, one of the midfielders on the fly, but instead it's Chaparral's possession. Chaparral led 2-0 after 1. They were up 6-3 at one point as Gray looks for his 4th goal of the contest, and he shoots it high. Cade Bluen on the restart. Here's the dodge. Here's the shot. Here's the score. Avery Brown, we just found out, with a uniform change, and Brown scores, and that makes it a 9-5 contest. This is the largest lead that either team has had. In fact, Notre Dame has not led in this game at any point. As I said, they trailed 2-0 early. Ian Nadell wants to take a shot. Boy, he had a good right there, and he is going to be, that's going to be a cross check, I would imagine. Yep. Cross check against Pierce Swanson, so another man-up situation. Chaparral has scored in the man-up on several occasions in this game. And after the two teams were pretty even on face-offs through the first 15 minutes or so of this contest, Chaparral has dominated face-off here of late. We're in the third period. Chap leads 9-5, looking for more, and they got it. Cade Bluen with the big right. As he attacks from the goal line extended right, and boy, Chaparral really pouring it on. And I think it goes back to the penalty that Spencer Stanton made at the end of the first half. There was just seconds left to go. He was assessed a trip. It was a 30-second infraction. Chaparral, and this was right after Notre Dame cut it to a 6-5 deficit. And then Chaparral capitalized. They scored the man-up situation to go up 7-5. And now it is 4 unanswered goals. Make it 5 as Carter Smith finds the promised land for the third time here tonight. Boy, they are scoring with lightning-like swiftness here in this third quarter. And Chaparral leads it 11-5, and they have gained all 5 possessions after the face-off to start the second half. Tremendous job and a great ground ball by Brant Bills. Good clear up ahead. Wyatt Hill now in at goalie. Chap gets it into the offensive half with Barrett Prosh, 34. We were mentioning the weather tonight, absolutely beautiful here. A nice breeze blowing, temperatures in the mid to high 70s. Really can't ask for a better night for Arizona high school lacrosse. Chaparral comes in with a record of 6-2, led by their head coach Austin Gray. They have Sabino in 13 days. They'll play Sabino down in Tucson on the 14th of April, while Notre Dame will be heading out to the West Valley to take on the Wolves. Neither one of those games will be our Arizona Lacrosse League game of the week. In fact, I think our next Arizona Lacrosse League game is going to be, I believe it's Desert Vista and Brophy. Here's Gilligan. He scored that 7th goal with 55 seconds left to go to end the first half to give Chaparral a 2-goal lead. Matt Scragg, the goalie, takes care of that shot and gets it over to Swanson. Swanson being harassed by Carter Smith and gets it into the offensive half. Swanson wanting to go all the way. Sidesteps a couple of defenders and then gets knocked down from behind. And this is going to be a push, a 30-second technical foul against Chaparral. And this will put Notre Dame in the man-up situation as they trail by 6 here. Halfway through period number 3, Notre Dame trails Chaparral 11-5. Saints in the all-white uniforms, purple trim. So they're a man up. The Saints are. Here's Stanton. Stanton loves that goal line extended right. He can go with both hands, number 11, but he loves that right hand, probably his dominant hand. He likes that better, but a restart here with Brant Sapp. Get it over to Stanton. An amazing year last year. And give credit to Noah Plotkin, 33, who's had the assignment on Stanton all night long, and he has done a tremendous job against one of the premier scorers in the Arizona Lacrosse League, number 11, Spencer Stanton, who has scored just 1 goal for the first 2.5+ quarters of play. Stanton's got it. Here's that matchup again. He moves left. And you got to figure that Spencer's going to have to put some points on the board if this Notre Dame team has any goal of getting back into this ball game. What is a very pivotal game for Notre Dame. They come in riding a 4-game losing streak and really can't afford to go down to 3-6 if they want to make the playoffs. Excellent ground ball by the sophomore Will Cunnington, who had 6 goals against Corona. Big shot with the right hand, and no good. Second effort and a great save by Wyatt Hill, the junior goalie. And Chaparral trying to control the possession. Gray, the long stick defender. That was an outstanding play by number 59. Now on the other end, we got a flag down on the field. And it looks like Chaparral's going to be in a man-up situation again.
Yeah, I know.
Face-off wins, a distinct advantage here tonight for Chaparral. One reason why they came out and won the first 5 face-offs to start the second half and converted with 4 points coming off those 5 face-offs. Not directly, but on that possession. Blew it. And got through a couple of defenders, went top shelf. That was a beautiful play by Bluen, his second goal here in this third period alone. And it's 12-5 with 3:07 left to go here in the third period. Well, that was impressive. So Bluen with 2 goals. Carter Smith has 3. Gray has 3. Actually, Bluen has 3 goals now. The 5 goals scored by Notre Dame, they've been pretty spread out. Stanton, Lynch, Francis, Sapp has 2.
Give it to the train.
Now Chaparral's got their personnel out there. And now Bluen out of X. 2:14 on the clock. Moving to his right. He was looking for maybe a backdoor cut there and ended up throwing away. It comes all the way down to the other end. Here is wasn't a breakaway opportunity, but it was an empty net. And I wonder how Ryan Swanger did not connect on that. That looked like a fairly easy goal, but getting back there was Jeffrey Block, and he may have disrupted his line of sight. Nonetheless, Notre Dame in possession and now trailing by a game-high 7 points here at 12-5. Here's a dodge. Solid Chaparral defense making the stop there. Blake Story, the freshman. He's got it as he moves to his left. Let's see if Spencer can get a screen here. He does. He gets around it, but a nice job of sliding over is Gray, and he dislodges that one on the shot attempt, but picked up by Notre Dame on the end line. Actually, it was out of play. Here's Lynch. And this is a young man, I think, that they feel that you've got to, I think when you look at this Notre Dame organization, they've got an outstanding young coach here in Doug Lipska. And it's going to be Chaparral possession here. But you look at the players coming back for this team next year, and I mean, these are some of the best underclassmen. You talk about the freshman, Will Lynch, number 9. You got Cunnington, a sophomore. And, of course, obviously Stanton will be in his senior year. So this team next year should have a different feel, a different look. Kreshak, who is one of their top ground ball specialists, he's only a sophomore. So the future is bright for Notre Dame. If they can get through this tough part of their schedule, as that shot thwarted out front. And the hot potato can't be corralled. Finally is. I think we got somebody in the crease. Now check. This is going back to Chaparral. We're in the third period. Chaparral led 7-5, and that is the end of the third period. They led 7-5 at the half, but here at the end of 3, they lead 12-5 on APM. We'll be back in just a moment. Jeff Lowry back here, Notre Dame High School, ready for the fourth period of play. Chaparral with a 7-goal lead. Ian Nadell off the face-off, takes it to the house. Ian Nadell getting another face-off win, and it's 13-5. The 8-point lead is the largest for Chaparral here tonight. That was impressive, and he's done it again. He won 7 of the 8 face-offs here in the second half. Nadell. And he's the face-off get-off here, the Fogo for the Chaparral Firebirds, as they bring in a couple of midfielders here in this situation. And now Gray. Justin Gray, who had 3 goals and an assist in that first half. And he will be a part of the 6-on-6 here for the Chaparral Firebirds. 2-1-2. Over to Avery Brown. Here's Gray looking for his 4th goal of the contest. Good, solid defense. You would think it would be a mismatch with Ryan Poteet out there, who did a good job there on Gray. He gives up a lot of size, but Poteet with tremendous speed. Also a football player, for what we are told, was on that great freshman team they had here at Notre Dame. Here's a takeaway for Chaparral. Trying to attack from the left wing. Carter Smith, the powerful left hand who has produced 3 goals here tonight. Smith now with 28 goals. For Spencer Stanton for the Saints has 32 goals this year through the first 8+ games, almost 9 games. And Chaparral, who has dominated face-off here in the second half, they have scored 6 unanswered goals. And a nice job there by Pierce Swanson. But the Saints having a tough time getting this ball across the midway line. Crowd telling Swanson to hurry up. And then he throws it away. Even though the ball looks like it's going to stay in play here, no, it's not. And Chaparral will get it on the restart, leading 13-5. Chaparral has scored the last 7 goals in this contest. And I think a big reason they've held possession extremely well is Gray takes the feed, goes all the way. He has scored his 4th goal of the night. What a sensational evening out of Justin Gray. 14-5. Gray's 4th goal of the evening. So face-off success for Chaparral, and their ability to possess has been the 2 keys in why they have built what was a 1-goal lead. It was 6-5 at the 4:16 mark into a 14-5 lead where they have scored 8 unanswered goals. Good crowd here on hand at Notre Dame Prep High School. Boy, the Saints kind of had a similar go of it last week when we were here for the Brophy Saints game, in which they were actually within 2 going into the 4th quarter of that game. The Brophy flexed their muscles and took charge of that game and ended up winning it 11-7, though the game stayed a lot closer than what this one is here tonight. Chaparral with 2 losses. If you look at the standings right now, and I know Desert Vista's only played, I think, 5. I think they're playing their 6th game tonight. So they're 5-0. Brophy with 1 loss. I guess, well, it's hard to say who's in first place because Desert Vista hasn't played a whole lot this year. But you got Desert Vista, you got Brophy. They're 1 and 2. Chaparral is probably 3rd, if not 4th, as Sabino 6-1 with their big victory over South Point a couple of nights ago, or last night, I should say, on our Arizona Lacrosse League game of the week. That's a nice ride out of the offensive half for the Firebirds. Nice job by A.L.L. And a timeout on the field. 14-5 in favor of the Chaparral Firebirds. And you're watching the Arizona Lacrosse League game of the week. I'm Jeff Lowry, APN Sports. Our website, apnvideo.com, if you're interested in a customized athlete recruitment film. Or if you'd like to book your next game on video, give us a call. Our phone number is 623-936-5585. Better yet, go to our website at apnvideo.com. Check out our demos and more. Charlie Felix, who was instrumental in Chaparral's first goal of the game, blew it, and now try to hook up with Christian, and it rolls all the way down to the other end. And look at the hustle by the Chaparral goalie, the sophomore Wyatt Hill. Loose ball picked up by Blake Story. And now here come the Saints. Here's the dangerous Stanton, and he shoots, and that's another save for Carson. Is that Carson? No, it is Wyatt Hill. Wyatt Hill, the junior, splitting the time and goal with the senior Carson Davis. Davis wears 57, Wyatt Hill wears 59, and both have done a stellar job here tonight. Chaparral leads it here in the 4th, 14-5 on APN Video Sports. Grant Sapp, who scored goals in the second period at the 7:09 mark and the 4:16 mark. The latter of his 2 goals brought the Notre Dame Saints to within 1 at 6-5. Since then, it's been all Chaparral. They have scored 8 unanswered goals going back to the 55-second mark in quarter number 2. Good poke check there. Chaparral could not corral it. It's Notre Dame's, and a great defensive play. Neil Connell from behind, the sophomore defender. To Furry, 3 for Notre Dame, trying to corral it. And it's Gilligan. So Russell Gilligan with an outstanding ground ball at midfield. Trying to get it into the box. That play disrupted. Blake Story, outstanding midfield play for the Notre Dame Saints. Trying to break this 8-0 run by the Chaparral Firebirds here in the 4th. And Chaparral not letting up defensively, and what a play there by Brant Bills.
Hang on, boys. Hey, how about a push?
Now Chaparral on the restart, up by 9. 4th quarter action. Charlie Felix, one of the leaders, and he threw that one over the head of Cade Bluen. High throw from the senior midfielder, and it's going to turn it back over to Notre Dame. Matt Scragg, the goalie, well, it's turned out to be a long night for him, as his team has given up 14 points after Chaparral was limited to just 2 goals in the Brophy game on Saturday of this past week. And right now, both teams playing a little sloppy right now. Ground ball, midfield, Daniel Francis, who has a goal. And we're going to get, it looks like, a penalty here against Chaparral. Let's see if Notre Dame can put one in the back of the cage. They cannot. They take the shot, Now let's see what the penalty is going to be here, and I think it's going to be a hold against Chaparral, and that is the call.
Good call, ref.
That comes with 3 minutes and 50 seconds left to play here in regulation. 14-5.
And it was on.
Notre Dame has not scored since the 4:16 mark back in period number 2. And now they're in a man-up situation. Last time they were in a man-up situation, they failed to score. They take the shot. Another save by Wyatt Hill, the junior goalie for the Chaparral Firebirds, and they will try to ride this one out of their own half. Love that quick outlet. Trevor went straight down the middle. Get it on the wing in the bottom shelf. Power shot by number 9, Carter Smith, turned away by Matt Scragg. And Notre Dame has it in transition. Excellent job by, not sure if number 6 is Alex Faulkner, or wasn't sure if there was some changes, I think, to their roster. Now Stanton trying to create. Well, I'll tell you what, it's like Stanton, he must feel like a July 4th picnic. I mean, you know how you attract all the flies? Well, he's attracting a lot of attention here.
Over your head, buddy, over your head. There you go.
So now the Firebirds, nice low clear out to Trevor Went attacking from the right-handed wing. We're going to stop him play, and I think that was a failure to advance, so turn it back over to the Notre Dame Saints, who trail by 9. Well, stay with us at the conclusion of today's game. We'll be giving you our Arizona Lacrosse League Big Play of the Week. Nice job here. Here's Mitchell going to work, and he takes the shot. And I believe Matt Scragg got a piece of that. Are they going to count that one? Nope. That is going to be a foul going against Notre Dame, so this puts Chaparral in a man-up situation. No goal on that last one, even though it looked like it was awfully close. Breaking the seal to that Notre Dame cage. Here's Carter. Carter Smith, number 9 on that on the far side, the attackman. Good ball rotation as they try to turn it to the left-handed wing side, and boy, I'll tell you, Matt Scragg has done a fine job here with a couple of very impressive saves here and a nice long clear, but this one is going to go out of play, and Chaparral will be in possession. I would say they've had it at least 75% of the time here in the second half. And that has been the big difference, dominating on the face-off wins, 7-2. But remember, they won the first 5 face-offs to start the third period, and they converted 4 goals on those 5 face-offs. And I think once it got 11-5, you could just kind of sense that Notre Dame, somebody kind of let the air out a little bit of their balloon, and unfortunately for the Saints, this is a team that's you cannot turn your back on this team, and with their remaining schedule, I know that they feel like they're a team that is going to wreak havoc throughout the Arizona Lacrosse League the rest of the way. There's only five games left for both these teams after tonight, regular season. Long pass up ahead. Excellent job on the far side by the Chaparral Firebirds, picking up that loose ball. They'll bring it into the attack box. We get a flurry of flags. We're going to get a slashing penalty here against Notre Dame. I believe that was that Noah. I think that was Noah bringing that one up. That was an excellent clear. for the Chaparral Firebirds as we wind down today's game. Stay with us. We'll have our big play of the week and comments from the winning team. Chaparral will be 7-2 when this one is over by way of record, 7 wins, 2 losses. As they try to become one of the 4 teams to make the playoffs, Notre Dame drops to 3-6. And our final score from Notre Dame Prep, the Chaparral Firebirds 14, the Notre Dame Saints 5. This has been a presentation of APN Video Sports. My name is Jeff Lowry. Glad you could join us here tonight. And stay with us for our Auto Glass Perfection big play of the game. Coming up next on the Arizona Play-by-Play Network. Time now for the Arizona Lacrosse League Big Play of the Week, powered by Auto Glass Perfection. So the Notre Dame Saints will get it on the restart, and Charlie Felix on the defensive assignment as he pries that one loose. And the ground ball belongs to Justin Gray, the long stick midfielder. He wants to go all the way. He shoots, and he scores. And Chaparral adds on to their lead. And it started with the great defense of Charlie Felix. Firebirds win 14-5 over Notre Dame. We start with Charlie Felix. Were you happy with the way this game went today?
With the way things came out, but not with how they started. We were playing a pretty close game at first. A lot of turnovers, not good offense, and then we let up a lot of goals. But we picked up the offense, started to possess, and the game started going in our favor.
Okay.
We were happy.
Defenseman Noah Plotkin, what do you think this team has to do to compete at state?
You know, this team's built with heart. We don't have the best talent out of all the teams, but we're hardworking and dedicated.
One of the best left-handed shots in the state. Carter Smith, your assessment of this team as we approach the halfway point here in 2015?
I feel really good about our team. We got a lot of talent, honestly, and we all just like to reiterate what Noah said. We have a lot. We need heart, and to win the state championship, we're gonna have some serious passion. And right now, it looks good. I think it looks very good.
Okay.
Justin Gray, 4 goals here today, long stick midfielder. You know, it's amazing the job that you can do in transition as a long stick midfielder. Your assessment of this team at the midway point?
Favorite point, I feel pretty good. I mean, Brophy's a little setback, but I think it's just we're just going to get the ball rolling. We're snowballing from here.
All right, guys. Well, congratulations on a big win over a pesky team, and we'll see you down the road.
Thank you.
The Arizona Big Play of the Week is powered by Auto Glass Perfection.